Tiffany here. It's been a while. But I wanted to share with you guys my ninth grader's world modern history course that I pulled together for her for this school year. She's actually finished it for the year. So what she's been working on for the next, I don't know, we have like a month and a little over a month left. So what she's been working on since she finished that up is just some extra geography and a few extra things. What if I come up with things? Nothing structured at this point. So this is World's Story 3. The modern age. It goes from exploration, from the explorers through the present day. So she had been doing this, and it took us forever to get through the books. She is an auditory learner, so I was having to read it to her, the first two and this one. So it just took us a long time to get through them. So when we got to ninth grade, I was like, okay. I was like, do I just forget about doing the third book? And we just start with U.S. history or something for ninth grade. And you know, I was like, you know what? I want to keep going with these. I really like the format and the layout of this and the way it's written. It's written like a story, and I really like that. And I think my daughter likes it too. And I like all the pictures and things like that. So I did not get the workbook that goes with it. I should have a flip through of another one of these, and this is a very similar layout to the other ones. But if anybody wants a flip through of this book, just comment down below and let me know, and I can film a flip through of this because it is slightly different than the first two. So basically, I'm going to tell you guys how I created her course, and and just show you how I did that. So basically, I went through the book and I went through each chapter and basically wrote down what it was covering, what time period it's covering, maybe what people the chapter was covering. So sometimes it'll be like the chapter will be like half the chapter will be kind of focused on one historical figure. So I went through and wrote all that down. Then I went to the internet. I used a lot of crash course videos to add in for her to watch. And I think it was mostly crash course. There could have been, I think also, sorry, I have it pulled in my computer, the infographic show, that channel as well. I will put a link down below to my playlist for the course. I think they're all in there. There may be a couple that didn't get added in because I added them later on, not when I was actually sitting down and doing the course. So, but I'll put a link down to the playlist down below if anybody's interested. So what I also did with that is for some of the videos, let me find it here. I have her binder here. For some of the videos, I created worksheets. So let me find one. So basically, I sat down and watched the video. And as I was watching the video, I typed up some questions for her to answer. I'm trying to find one. She has a bunch of other worksheets in here. And I'll tell you where I got those in a second. Oh my goodness, it's very difficult to flip through. I can't find any of the ones that I created. So I don't know. But yeah, so sometimes I would sit and I would watch the video and type up questions. There were a couple cases where I found maybe a PowerPoint presentation. Same thing. I would go through it, create questions for her. And I didn't do that to everyone, just some of them I may just have one question and she had to write a paragraph to answer the question or something. I also went on Teachers Pay Teachers. I used a couple other websites. I can't recall. It was really random if I couldn't find anything on Teachers Pay Teachers, but I downloaded a bunch of stuff from there as well, mostly free. I think, yeah, I don't think I paid for anything. I think it was all free. I don't recall downloading anything that I paid for this course. And that's it. So basically each week she was reading a chapter or two and watching videos, answering questions, doing other various worksheets. There were times where I did also add in research papers, and she did a compare and contrast essay about dictators and various things like that. She also was reading some novels that went along with the time periods that she was learning about. And anything she did with that, as far as maybe writing some type, she had a couple workbooks and things like that that went along with the novels. Those we counted towards her English grade. But just the information from the books helped her in history. So yeah, her final, I think I'm going to have her do one more final thing at the end of the year. So I did try to add some geography and stuff in there. So like her last assignment, geography assignment, was basically, it was a world map, and she had to basically label continents, rivers, mountains, different cities. It was like really random. I found it online. So just kind of a general world map thing. And then for her final like paper assignment, she just had to pick anything in history and do a research paper and write about it. And it really was anything. I said any topic or person that we talked about. And so then we were talking and she was trying to get ideas. And so I mentioned, I was like, honestly, it could be how something evolved throughout that time period. And so her idea was to do fashion. So she wrote a paper on how fashion has evolved during the time period, from basically, I think she took, let me see, I have it here. I think the 1700s. Yeah, so basically she took from the 1700s to like the 1960s, because fashion has evolved since then, but not drastically. And she wrote a paper about that. So that was kind of like her final project for the course. What I want to do is maybe one more project to kind of go back over and touch on a lot of the different subjects. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet, but I do think I want to do something like that just to kind of wrap up the school year before she's going to be doing American history next year. I also used Google Classroom to set up the course for her so she can access the videos and the assignments and things like that. So I'm going to insert a video with a voiceover of how I did that. So I hope that's helpful. Okay, so here is Google Classroom, and this is under my account, so you'll see classes for my fifth grader as well, and the biology is for my daughter for next year. We're getting ready. So she has general science, world mythology, English 9, and modern history. So that's what we're talking about today. So this is what I see when I go in there. It's the stream. It's basically anything that's been done in there. But I just go to classwork, and you can see all of the weeks listed and what chapter we were covering during the week. If you go to, I accidentally clicked on that calendar, and I do that a lot. But if you go here and go to the calendar, you can see what she sees. Okay, so you could see a typical week. You see the color coding that's for each different class. And she would just click on that and be able to see her assignment. So I'll take you in and show you some of the assignments and talk to you a little bit about that. So I'm just going to click on a random one. And if you hit, you can see at a glance what's in there. But if you hit view instructions, you can see each of the assignments for the week. And also if there was a PowerPoint or a worksheet that you needed to fill out on the computer and then print out, that was in there. And for me, I could go into student work and grade it from there once she's turned it in. So there's just a couple other ones. A lot of them have like worksheets. They were pre-printed for her, so all she do is go to her binder and get them. You'll see some of them. So like this one had a timeline that was already printed and in her binder. So if she didn't see it linked, then she knew it was in her binder. There were a few where she was just told to read and she knew what that was. It was all stuff we discussed. And here was her final assignment for the year and just explaining what I was expecting from her. And this was another assignment. We added a Black History Month project at the end of the year after she had finished up everything. Or right around the same time as she was finishing up the course, actually. So you can actually go in and see grades and things like that, but I'm not going to show you that. So now I'm going to walk you through how I would go to Teachers Pay Teachers and find materials for her. So I would go and just type in, so I'm going to type in dictators because that was something she did a project on. And I'll actually show you, I should be able to find it. I usually just scroll down to free because I like to find free things. If I can't, then I'll go in and search for paid things. So here is actually a Venn diagram that we had downloaded. It was a chart with a Venn diagram, and she used this to write her paper about dictators. It was about Hitler, Stalin, and Mussolini, and she used that. So this is YouTube. I'm going to show you our modern history playlist, and you can see that. And like I said, I will leave a link down below for that if you want to check it out. So I'm just going through my playlists. And as you can see, it is mostly crash course videos with a few other channels in there as well. And that's pretty much how I did that. It was pretty simple, just adding links in, printing out worksheets, and things like that. All right, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions about how I did that, or anything, or have suggestions of if there's any way to make it easier, or suggestions of what you do in Google Classroom for your students, please comment down below and let me know. So that's it. So like I said, our spine was World Story 3 from Masterbooks. We really enjoyed this series. So that's how I put together her modern history course. If you have any questions about that, any things specific you want to know, please comment down below. Also, like I said, if you want to flip through of the World Story 3, comment down below and I will film that if there's some interest. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you come back to watch more. Bye.